I can't believe some of the things I'm reading that Lin Dunn posted, crushing, basically calling Caitlin Clark fans complainers, calling Indiana Fever fans complainers. What is going on, man? Welcome to.
Stop everything for a moment, because the situation unfolding around this franchise is no longer just noise. It is turning into a full-scale credibility crisis, and the longer leadership stays silent, the louder the backlash becomes. Fans are not reacting randomly. They are responding to a growing perception that the organization refuses to clearly define its direction, and that uncertainty is fueling frustration across every corner of the conversation. Right now, the narrative is being written by confusion, mixed signals, and a lack of decisive communication. And if that continues, the entire season risks being overshadowed before it even properly begins. The reality is simple. Supporters want clarity, accountability, and a strong, confident message that leaves no room for speculation. Anything less invites more debate, more criticism, and more momentum in the wrong direction. This is a moment for leadership to step forward, take control of the narrative, and deliver a firm, unmistakable statement that settles the conversation once and for all, because hesitation only amplifies doubt, and doubt is quickly becoming the biggest opponent this team has to face.
It says, the productive complainer. This person fully engaged, offering ideas and suggestions help improve the team's culture. They are fully invested in the team's culture. The venting complainer. This person is working hard, doing what it.
Let's set the stage, because this situation escalated fast. The Fever selected Raven Johnson with the 10th pick Monday night, and the reaction was immediate. Fans pushed back hard, especially after head coach Stephanie White floated the idea of Caitlin Clark spending more time off the ball. Then Kelly Crosskop added fuel by suggesting Clark would need to adjust to the reshaped roster, and suddenly the temperature spiked. Boycott talk started circulating, comment sections turned hostile, and the conversation spiraled into full-blown chaos. Right in the middle of that storm, Lin Dunn stepped in with a cryptic post on her LD Chalk talk page that many read as dismissive toward the very fans voicing concern. This is a 78-year-old pioneer, champion, someone whose reputation carries real authority, and even Clark has publicly praised her with a tribute calling her the GOAT. So when she speaks, people listen, instead of calming the waters, though her message categorized critics into 4 types: productive, venting, chronic, and malicious, with the final group described as harmful to team culture and needing to be removed. In a moment when supporters were already on edge, that framing landed like a direct challenge, and rather than easing tensions, it amplified perception that fan concerns were being brushed aside.
Okay, they are questioning the draft picks. So you're mad that fans, you're essentially saying, yo, the fans have been complaining about the draft picks, complaining about the players, complaining about Caitlin Clark's role on the ball, off the ball, all of this stuff. No, at the end of the day, we are consumers. We are the consumers.
Nobody is addressing why this moment is so damaging, and the answer is straightforward. The Indiana Fever fan base is not built like a traditional one. A massive portion of these supporters arrived because of Caitlin Clark. They bought tickets for her. They bought jerseys for her. And they tuned in because of her impact. So when they question how she is being used, that is not negativity. That is engagement. Labeling those voices as complainers does not just brush them aside. It risks alienating the very people fueling the organization's growth. These fans are driving attendance, boosting television interest, and strengthening the financial foundation that allows leadership, including Lin Dunn in front office, to expand resources and invest in the team's future. The surge in visibility, the increased revenue, and the momentum surrounding the franchise all accelerated when Clark arrived, and that reality makes fan feedback more important, not less. When supporters who help spark that momentum feel ignored, the message they hear is that their passion is unwelcome, and that is a dangerous signal. This moment calls for listening, not labeling, because the same fans who elevated the spotlight expect their voices to matter, and pushing them aside only risks weakening the foundation that lifted the franchise in the first place.
Middle-class citizens from not making enough money. Erica Wheeler, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You was just on OnlyFans trying to get people to look, listen, man. You was just trying to get people to spend money on the OnlyFans for some cause, and I'm sure it was a great cause, but like...
Now, let me be perfectly clear about something. Fans are not always right. Some of the reactions to the draft selection of Raven Johnson went far beyond reasonable criticism, and the online harassment tied to her 2023 wave-off moment crossed every line. Personal attacks, racial insults, and threats are unacceptable, and there is no defense for that behavior. There's also a legitimate basketball case for her fit. She brings elite perimeter defense, championship experience, and nearly 40% shooting from deep, all of which can strengthen the roster. Anyone directing hate at Johnson personally is wrong. Full stop. But there's a clear distinction between harassment and fans questioning how Caitlin Clark will be used within the system. Those concerns fall squarely within the rights of engaged consumers who invest time, money, and attention into the team. The problem is that Lin Dunn's comments blur that line, lumping thoughtful criticism together with toxic behavior, and, in doing so, missing a key reality of the sports business. When people pay for a premium experience and feel they're getting something different, they will speak up. That is normal, not destructive. Supporters expect dialogue, not lectures about categories of complainers. And just when it seemed the disconnect between the Indiana Fever organization and the outside conversation could not grow wider, another voice stepped into the spotlight, Erica Wheeler.
$150K a year? Listen, bro, respectfully, 90% of y'all wasn't making $150K a year 6 months ago. You got to relax, man. I'm happy for y'all getting to the bag because I'm getting to the bag myself. I'm not tripping off that. Do y'all thing, but you don't got to come at people for what they do or don't.
If Lin Dunn's post felt dismissive, the reaction to Erica Wheeler's recent comments intensified the divide even further. Wheeler, a veteran coming off a major pay jump, went online and framed critics as jealous voices upset about income differences, implying that people who question players are simply frustrated by not earning six figures. That message landed poorly because it positioned everyday fans, the same people buying tickets, merchandise, and subscriptions, as outsiders rather than supporters. It also ignored how recently much of the league, Wheeler included, was still fighting for broader financial stability and greater visibility. When a player shifts from asking fans for support to appearing to dismiss them based on income, it creates a perception gap that is difficult to close. Fans do not expect players to agree with every criticism, but they do expect respect, especially when their engagement is helping drive the league's growth. Framing disagreement as envy risks turning constructive conversation into resentment. And at a time when emotions were already high around Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, those comments only reinforce a sense that the distance between the organization, its players, and its rapidly expanding fan base is getting wider instead of smaller.
Easy. Yo, that's why I be saying, bro, in this CBA, the WNBA owners should have put mandatory media training and social media etiquette. That should have been in the black and white, in the fine print.
This is where the tone turns damaging, because the people being dismissed are the same ones stretching their budgets to participate. The families saving for upper deck seats, the single parent buying a team shirt, the student paying for a league pass, and those small purchases collectively power the revenue behind rising salaries. When criticism is framed as jealousy, it risks sounding like the organization is mocking the very support that fuels its growth. Stack that on top of everything else, and the pattern becomes hard to ignore. Stephanie White continues discussing Caitlin Clark playing off the ball. Kelly Kroskoff draws corporate-style comparisons. Amber Cox praised the Raven Johnson selection as a home run despite backlash. Lin Dunn categorized critics as complainers. And Erica Wheeler's income-based remarks amplified the divide. When multiple voices send messages that feel disconnected from fan sentiment in the same week, it creates the impression of a broader cultural misread inside the Indiana Fever. Much of the current audience arrived specifically because of Clark's impact, and if those supporters believe she is not being prioritized, their attention and spending can shift just as quickly as it arrived. That is why this moment feels bigger than a few comments. It signals a need for tighter messaging, clearer alignment, and stronger media discipline. In a league experiencing rapid growth, consistent communication, and professional social media awareness are no longer optional. They are essential to maintaining trust with a fan base that is passionate, vocal, and increasingly influential. Right now, the perception is that leadership is losing control of the message, and when that happens, confidence erodes fast. There is a growing sense that the league wants top-tier attention and compensation, but when that same level of scrutiny arrives, the response becomes defensive instead of composed. What needs to happen immediately inside the Indiana Fever is a closed-door reset with one clear directive: unified messaging. No more mixed signals, no more corporate-style analogies, no more dismissive language toward supporters. Just one consistent voice that reinforces direction and leadership. That clarity starts with acknowledging Caitlin Clark as the centerpiece and eliminating the ambiguity that is fueling debate. Training camp is days away. The opener against the Dallas Wings is approaching, and the organization is heading into the season with a fan base more frustrated than energized, which makes this feel like a self-inflicted credibility hit at the worst possible time. Lin Dunn is unquestionably a respected figure whose legacy in the game is secure, but even respected voices can misjudge the moment, and labeling passionate supporters as complainers risks widening the divide instead of closing it. The situation now demands discipline, alignment, and a direct message that restores trust, because the longer confusion continues, the harder it becomes to rebuild momentum with a